Hello everybody, Silas here today. I'm here with all three of my kids. My wife's out of town. I thought, you know what? It's a great day for an adventure. They're working their way through. I carried this one. He's a little bit too short for this tall grass. But those two are on their way over here right now. It's a little bit on the windy side out here. I hope the audio is okay, but with this mic I think it'll be all right. Last time I was at this place, it wasn't quite this overgrown. It was in the winter time and all this grass and weeds weren't here. But this is what Kansas looked like a long time ago. This is all wild growth, other than the telephone poles. But this is what we're here to check out today, is this old adobe barn. This is a pretty cool building right here. Let's go in there and check it out. What this barn is it was actually made out of mud bricks. Pretty fascinating, really. They made this back in the World War II era when metal was scarce and lumber and things like that. So this way they used what was available. Yeah, we're gonna go in the barn. Just a second, I'm gonna open that door. Watch out, guys. There's a wetlands right down the road, so there's plenty of mud and clay around here. So that's why they made it out of that instead. And obviously they had to use some lumber and some tin for the roof.
Look in here.
But all the walls are made out of mud.
An alligator would be kept.
An alligator?
What? Yes, of course they are.
These are all animals? Cages, this is a barn.
With the horses? With the horses there?
I'm sure they had horses in here.
Ooh, that's probably why it smells like horses.
Yeah, there has been horses in here for a long time. This was built about 80 years ago.
80?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to all the animals?
No, they don't use it anymore. It's just something neat to go explore and look at. You see over here all the bricks? It's made out of dirt and mud, kind of.
They basically hardened it?
Yeah, they just took pieces of mud and they put it together and turned it into blocks. And they put it together and then they put this stuff, this is called adobe, and they put over the top of it to keep it from washing away.
Oh, we can go on the roof?
Yeah, you gotta be careful up here. No, we can go up there. Let me make sure there's no raccoons up there.
No, there's not.
No, I doubt there's any raccoons up there, but I don't hear anything scuttling around.
There's a window right there.
Yes, some of this place is not holding together the greatest. This is a very old barn. I'm sure it'll be here for quite a few more years, but it won't be here forever. So I just thought it would make a really fun place to come out and document. They've restored this already once, or basically restored it. Here's all the info about what they did to it, but unfortunately it's been vandalized a couple times. This is where they would have kept all the hay and stuff like that. But as you guys can see, this thing had windows on it. Yeah, careful guys. Don't want to fall in there. But yeah, vandals have come out here and kind of tore the place up. You can see where they've shot it with a shotgun a few times, and I don't know why people have to be like that, but yeah, back up guys.
Over there.
You gotta be careful right here. Some of this wood's a little bit rotted.
Hey, look, that's where we were.
Yeah, that's where we kind
See
of drove.
those windmills?
Yeah.
That's where we were at.
Mm-hmm. I don't see any owls. I thought there might be some owls in here.
Owls?
Yeah, barn owls. But I don't see any. This is a neat old building though. Like I say, it's still in pretty good shape. It'll probably be here for quite a while yet. But I just wanted to come out here and document it just in case something were to happen to this. Look at this right here. This sheet was patented in May of 1915, I believe. And that's the other thing I forgot to mention is all the tin on this was repurposed tin. This was off of another building they brought over and put on this one. Very cool old building, how they repurposed. I think a lot of the lumber was repurposed as well. Just because during the war all the materials were kind of scarce, I'm gonna have to carry you down this, buddy. You ain't gonna be able to go down that on your own. Even like this right here, you can see where there was nail holes in it and they took it off of something else, put it in here, nailed it back together.
I've seen nail holes.
Yeah.
I've seen nails.
Yeah, it's really a shame that somebody knocked all the windows out of this thing. They probably shot them out, honestly. Just crazy, ignorant people. No alligators lived in this farm. I don't know where you guys got that at. There's no alligators in Kansas, other than the zoo. Yeah, they left an old chair here. Let's go around this way. Yeah, the bad thing about these windows being gone like this is that now rain can come in here and kind of erode the mud or the bricks. So it's not going to last as long as it would have. You can kind of see here where it's starting to crumble and fall apart a little bit. Don't know why people can't respect stuff. That's really unfortunate. But this is just a really cool place. It's not that big of a barn, but it was big enough for what they needed at that point in time. And I'm sure a lot of the nails that are in this building, even those are repurposed out of something else, because that was really common back in the day. To save nails, they would straighten them back out and reuse them. What's going on? What are you looking for? Yeah, playing in the dirt? Of course you are. You like to get dirty. You see the sunlight coming through? This building was probably pretty cheap to build. I think if I remember right, the community came together to help build it, so there's probably not a whole lot of money invested in this, just probably mainly labor. Lots and lots of labor involved in this. Come over here and read this a little bit. What year was this built? 1942. Yeah, 1942. It's 40 feet by 24 feet, 7-foot sidewalls, 6 feet are adobe blocks, and a footing of cement. It says Big Duke. And that says Penny. And that says Flicka. That was probably the name of the horses, or the mules, or whatever was in here.
Hey, I mean, Dad.
What?
I'm gonna show you something.
What?
Was this a pig? Was this where the pig or chicken lived?
No, they probably just had something stored in here. Maybe shovels or rakes or something like that.
I think there might have been like a gate right here.
Yeah, there might have been at one time.
Or right here, because
They had something in here. This is actually a really common construction practice when they would make cabins and things like Little House on the Prairie. The house would be made out of sod blocks. Put it together. It would even have a sod roof a lot of times on the houses that they would build. Obviously this one has a metal roof, and that's probably the only reason why it's still standing today after 80 some years. It was restored in the year 2000, and you can see where they did a lot of work to it and tried to rebuild it. And honestly, probably if they don't want it to fall into the ground, probably here in another 10 years or so, it's probably going to need some more work again. But honestly, not a lot of people know about where this is at, and it's out in the middle of nowhere, absolute nowhere. And so that's part of the reason why the windows are shot out of it, is because it's so far out here that crazy people drive by and feel like they have to destroy stuff. But also at the same time, it's nowhere near any major cities, and so there's not a whole lot of crazy people around here that can come by and just totally destroy it. It's definitely a fascinating piece of history, Kansas history especially. This may be the last adobe barn in Kansas. It's definitely the only one that's open to the public. It's possible that there are more around here somewhere. I've just never heard of one. What? You went down? Did you get stuck? There you go. You guys want to go outside? You want to go outside? Callie? You want to go outside? The roof looks like it's still in pretty good shape on it. Kind of walk around it a little bit and explore it a little bit on the outside. I'm going to have to carry Callahan. He can't walk through all this tall grass. The other two can. It'd be neat to see this in operation. I was wrong. I thought those names that were in there were probably for horses or mules or whatever, but it says it was used for dairy cows. So that's probably the names of some cows that were in there. I just love unique pieces of history like this, that so few people probably even know that this thing exists. It's kind of what I want to start doing a little bit here and there, is going out and finding unique things like this and documenting them. Because every year stuff happens and this stuff is slowly disappearing. This thing came out of this very ground that we're standing on right now, and someday it'll go back into this ground. The last time I was here, I had picked up a truck not far from here, an old Dodge truck, and my dad was with me, and we were kind of in a hurry, so we just kind of glanced it over, didn't look at it that good, but it's kind of fun to come and actually explore it and spend some time here this time. The grass is taller than you guys. The grass is taller than you guys. This is all wild prairie grass. This is what Kansas looked like a long time ago. There was no roads here back then, no barns, no telephone poles, and there wasn't nearly as many trees. But it had grass like this everywhere. What's this sign over here say? I think that sign says something kind of cool. Let's go check it out. Does that say what I think it says? I think it does. Oh, cable route. Okay, I thought it said cattle route at first from over there. I thought, boy, that's a really cool sign. But I mean, it's still a cool sign, but it's not nearly as cool as I thought it was. The really cool thing about being out here in the middle of nowhere like this is you might see 1 or 2 cars drive past you all day long. You can bring the kids out and you can explore and just have fun. The kids were all excited. They woke up early this morning ready to have an adventure. You see those sunflowers? But with that, I think this part of the adventure is done. This is just going to be the main thing we wanted to do today. This is the main thing I wanted to come check out with the kids, spend some time here. But also, I thought while we're here, there's a wetlands area over here, and as long as nobody's out there dove hunting, we'll go down there and explore, see what we can find there, and just keep traveling around all over the state today and find what else we can do. I just saw that this says it's public fishing in this area, this wetlands area too. I didn't realize the water was deep enough to fish in, but while we're here, we're gonna have to check that out. I have my fishing pole, but I don't have anything to fish with here with me, but we'll still check it out. There's a skull right there. Off a deer. A deer skull.
Deer bone. It's a deer's. Yeah, that's its face.
Yeah.
It's a bone.
Where'd it go? There it is. Well, they're fast. Big old dragonflies. Everywhere out here, because, well, there's one there, just came right towards my camera. You see water? You see the water? It's called the wetlands. It's kind of like a marsh. Well, it is a marsh. This is where birds hang out. And a lot of people go hunting here, but there's nobody here today. It's kind of hot today and it's the middle of the day, so nobody's out hunting right now. It sure is pretty out here though. There's a bunch of cactuses. Don't touch them, they're all pokey. Looks like the fruit is just about ripe on that one. I don't have any tongs to pluck it off there though, so we'll leave that. Let the animals eat it. Well, that fruit's still green on this one. I don't think we're going to find any mushrooms. It's pretty dry. And we're in western Kansas. I don't know if mushrooms even grow out here. I was looking for deer antlers. It'd be pretty cool if we could find some. It's the wrong time of year for that. The squirrels have probably ate them all by now. It's a pretty nice place. If I was more into hunting, I'd definitely come back. We explored around in the woods for a little bit. Didn't really find anything else cool. And I really don't think a guy could go fishing in this water. It's not nearly deep enough. It's been a really dry last couple of years. Maybe if the water was deeper, because there is a creek that runs through here, but I don't see any potential of catching anything today. It's about lunchtime though. The kids are hungry. However, it is Labor Day, and so pretty much all the restaurants around here within about a 30-40 mile radius are closed. However, about 30 minutes from here, there is a McDonald's and it's open. So I guess we're going to McDonald's. We got lunch. Now we made it to our next destination. This is kind of sad though, a little bit, now that I'm here. I used to come to this beach all the time when I was a kid with my dad, and I came here a lot as a teenager. Last time I was here though, the water was up here where this grass is. Now the water's way out there. Somebody had a bad day. It's pretty wild though, how far down the water is. And this is pretty crazy. It's gonna take a lot of water to get it back up where it used to be. It's kind of a bad deal. With all these stumps are out here in this water, this used to be some great crappie fishing. All these stumps were below the surface and you could just barely see a few of these branches sticking up. Those are tree stumps. There used to be a bunch of trees. A long time ago, way before I was ever born, this used to just be a river and there was bunches of trees all through this whole area, and they flooded it all. They built a dam. But yeah, anyway, it used to be really good crappie fishing in this area right here, but now I don't think the water's deep enough to get a boat near those things. You used to have to be careful though, because you would come through here and there's some pretty big stumps out there. Out yonder, those stumps that are out there are probably about three and a half feet across. Some of those, you hit those with your outboard, you'd have a bad day. Yeah, lots of seashells. It's windy out here today. Yeah? Oh, some of these glasses? Yep. They're having a blast. I didn't intend for them to get this wet. I didn't bring a change of clothes, but that's okay. They'll dry out. Yep, there's a snake right there where you guys are playing.
Yes, I was sitting in front. I was the most close.
Don't have to worry about him. We'll leave him alone. For those wondering, that was just a common water snake is what those are called. And they can bite you, and it might hurt a little bit, but it's not really that harmful. I've been around those my entire life, and they're usually not threatening at all. They'll usually run away if you get too close to them. The main thing you have to watch for around here is actually snapping turtles. There are quite a few snapping turtles. However, in this real shallow water like this, probably not going to find any. Well, that's a random treasure find. A tape measure. I bet somebody had that to measure fish.
I want to see. Wow. We're finding so much treasure.
Yeah, maybe come out here and do a treasure hunt sometime. That'd be kind of fun while the water's down. Might have to do that. That's definitely an interesting find.
And it's coffee.
I don't have a bag or anything to put it in, or else I'd get it out of the water. I guess I'll just carry it, throw it up here so it dries out for a minute. You can see where all the water must wash out. This must be a low spot, and all the water washes this direction when it rains. And it washes sand out into the water. Kind of made a little bit of a sandbank, if you will. Yeah, it's not quite the same as the beach in Costa Rica, but it'll do. And there's no sharks and alligators here, at least. What do we got here? That's an old glass jar of some sort. Definitely pretty old. Got a spider in there. We'll get him out of there, but we're not going to hurt him. We'll let him go real quick. But I want to hang on to that jar. That's kind of neat. I wish I would have brought a bag or something to put trash in. I've seen a little bit of trash laying around it here. It'd be good to clean this up a little bit. Can't tell what year it is. I don't see any markings on it, but it's definitely a neat little bottle. It's kind of unique. It's a very thick glass. I mean, it's very thick. So I'm not sure what it is. If you know what that is, let me know in the comments. No, Callahan, don't you dare throw that at her.
No.
Put it on the ground. We're not throwing mud at each other. We already got way dirtier than I planned on getting dirty. I'm glad I drove the truck and not the car. Because I get that car filthy. The truck's already dirty. Are you making a canal? Yeah, don't throw dirt at Bennett either. We're not out here to throw. I know you're filthy, but you don't have to get everybody else filthy. Over here in this area, you can see those cliffs. That's how deep the water was at one time. It wasn't all the way to the top of that cliff, but about the middle of that cliff is where the water was eroding away at it. Probably every bit of where I'm standing right now in this area, I'm guessing probably be about 3, maybe 4 feet deep. So not super deep, but way deeper than it is now, because right now it's about 0 feet deep. This is a pretty shallow reservoir, really. I mean, you can go out there 400 or 500 feet without the water even getting close to your shoulders or so. But there gets to a point, once you get out there to where the main canal is, it gets deep pretty quick. So you can't go out there that far, but you can go out quite a ways. I have seen it shallower than this. One time years ago, they drained it because they were working on the dam or something like that. And it was pretty freaky. It was dry almost as far out as you could see. There's just a little bit of water way out there. And actually, this isn't even the deep part of the reservoir anyway. This is kind of the little inlet area where the river runs into it. But way over there, off that direction, that's where the deep part is, and that's where the docks are, and the dam's off that direction. So it gets a lot deeper when you go that direction. So this whole area here was never that deep to start with. And I've been out here before in the winter when it was frozen over, and you could go all the way across the lake on the ice. That was pretty freaky too. Going way out there where you know it's 40, 50 feet deep, being out on top of the ice. It'll last for a little while. Eventually the water will wash it away, but you did a pretty good job of protecting it. We're headed back to the car now, and I noticed somebody's little campsite here. This always makes me sad when people do this, just leaving trash everywhere. Lazy people, no respect. I wish I would have brought some trash bags with me. One of these days I'll come back and clean it up a little bit out here. This kid got soaked. I got diapers in the truck, so I'm gonna go change his diaper, and I guess he's gonna ride home in his diaper because those clothes are coming off. And with that, got the kids all loaded up in the truck. We're gonna head home. They're all gonna take a shower. My truck is gonna smell like nasty lake water now, but that's okay. They had a ton of fun today. I hope you guys enjoyed riding along with me. Like I said, I'd like to come back out here, maybe do a treasure hunt. Hopefully I can find some more places like that barn that I can go explore, maybe find some interesting stuff. Who knows what I'm gonna come up with next. So I guess just stay along for the adventure. I'll let you go with that. As always, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. And remember to get out there and find yourself an adventure. We'll see you on the next one.